Black Gold. Sponsor me, Pepsi. 500 subs right here. People would lose their fucking minds. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on tonight's journey. A memoir. Maybe. If I knew what that word meant. A memoir. Exploring why Starfield will forever be considered a good game, not a great game. What does that mean? What prevents a game from reaching greatness? Well, tonight we will explore that. In Act 1, let us begin with some shamelessly bad character writing, poor world building, and just an all-around negative player experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Coe. Soulless, empty, dead in the eyes.
Can you get a moment? Can we talk?
What do you want to talk about, Sam? What do you want to talk about?
I'm up for a little adventure. So how much of a thrill has it been traveling with the one and only last descendant of the great Solomon Coe? Is it everything you imagined?
I can't tell where I know this guy's voice from. I think you're doing your family proud. To save you time, audience, Sam here explains to us that many people have great expectations of him due to his family history and his relation to Solomon. He expresses that his ancestor was a great man, and that if he could hear how people talk about him today, he would...
He'd flat out deck him.
I apologize for the crude language. Sam goes on to express that Solomon was one of the first grav jumpers, the first to explore the Sol system. He explored planets, and he settled Aquila. He expresses that these actions gave his family an enormous reputation, one that he feels he struggles to live up to, and that before Cora, this weighed heavily upon him. Now, after all of this, the player does become somewhat tired of learning about Sam, but we leave the conversation, understanding that Sam feels he has a strong legacy to live up to, and that he has shown some insecurity, which is brave, an enjoyable dialogue experience. We don't dislike Sam, we now understand him better as a character, and I look forward to learning more about him as the days come. Let's see what happens next.
Looks like our... some stuff when you have the time.
What the fuck do you have on your mind, Sam?
So how much of a thrill has it been traveling with the one and only...
We just had this
Is it everything you
conversation.
imagined?
Why is he asking me that? Alright, I'm gonna leave you guys looking at Sam, this dumb face, because I can't look at it anymore. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back. But
As much
why?
as I enjoy having you around. Oh, bad time.
Get away from me.
Got it.
Get away from me. Sam. What I hate is that he's repeating, like, oh, we should chat sometime. Yo, we should chat sometime. My dude, let's chat sometime. So I chat with him. We have a chat about it. He's like, how great's my family? The Coes. A disappointing response. A character within the world has failed to acknowledge a conversation held mere minutes ago. For your context, dear viewer, this conversation had happened maybe 3 minutes prior, although within that time I must acknowledge the player has experienced at least 5 load screens. And it's possible that Sam's character has considered these to be natural stopping points, and points where he then needs to reiterate his needs. Sadly, this type of inconsistency has demonstrated to the player that their actions have little impact on the world, that the fact that they did not complete the dialogue and interactions with Sam has meant that they must have it forced down their throat, and that they must complete this to continue. Faced with repeating the same encounter, sadly, this only worsens when in another 120 seconds and 3 more load screens, the player is again faced with the exact same situation. Let us continue.
Ready to take up? I appreciate it when you're able. It's good to be out and about.
You fucking asking me? Are you fucking asking me to chat, Sam? Yeah.
So how much of a thrill has it been?
Oh my god,
Is it
you aren't
everything imagined?
telling me it's a thrill to travel with a Co again. It doesn't matter, you're me. It doesn't matter at all. How do I be
gotta
mean to
say,
him?
It's a relief. Time has a way of just building on itself. Solomon was a good man.
That's even worse. The
Great
different chat
one.
options don't do
If you
anything.
ever heard all the bullshit being
They're
talked
bringing me
about
to the
these
same
days,
conversation. What are we doing, Sam? What are we doing?
Flat
We've had
out
this
dead.
chat. It is at this point that the player comes to the realization that the conversation plays out entirely the same. On each occasion, they can clearly see 2 of the dialogue options are grayed out. This means they've been selected before. the player realizes they had no agency. The conversation was always going to play out the same way. I want my
It
miracles.
appears I left him in my other jacket. Sorry. But really, for some people, it ain't a joke.
Oh, that's so
They have
sorry,
serious
Sam.
expectations.
I'm so
Yeah,
incredibly sorry
there was a time
you were born into
well
money.
before Cora,
Oh,
where it really weighed on me.
that's such a
I felt
shame.
like every little thing I did or didn't do was a reflection on our
Remember how your family had like
legacy.
multiple safety deposit
enough to
boxes
drive
in a
me
vault?
crazy.
Oh,
Now I just hope I can help Cora to...
you poor soul. Oh, I don't
No
care.
judgment. For my father, imagine being the first person to jump into a new system.
Yep.
And now,
I don't want to flirt with him. I'm the worst. I want to be
Well,
mean to this
I hope
man,
the
but it won't
comic
even let me
book
do
they make
that.
about our adventures is better.
This is just
The
hollow
stuff they
writing.
publish is just...
Like, I don't... Oh, thank God we've shut him up. A beautiful moment of character exploration, marred by the idea of choice, and unwoven by the realization that the player was doomed to uncover nothing but a hollow shell of the Coe experience. As we move into the second act, Sam Coe will remain a key figure in the player's dissatisfaction with the narrative that unfolds before them. As you join me in the unweaving of the fabric of Starfield's poor writing, allow me to set the scene. We have arrived in orbit of a resort-style planet, and we have been asked by the security forces on the ground to explore and understand a strange ship. Rather than convey this to us over comms, they do ask us to come down, which we do. We've done that. Coming back to orbit after a couple more load screens. Being unable to hail them on our comms system, we investigate. Let us continue.
You're human.
Obviously.
It's just that we weren't expecting to find life, let alone human life out here. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
Well, I'll be. This is like a time capsule. Except with living, breathing people. We have got to explore this ship.
And like...
Perhaps.
It is very old school writing. Like Sam, so I meet these people. They're like, "Oh my god, there's humans." Like we get told like, "Hey, obviously these people have never interacted with other humans who have left Earth." I don't know why they think they're the only ones. We're gonna find out. I'm having this interaction with this woman. She's like, "Oh my god, you're human." Blah 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 blah. And then fucking Sam Coe slams his head into frame and is like, "Holy shit, dude! We need to explore this ship." This woman should be like, "What the shut the fuck, who the fuck are you? Shut the fuck up." She should be saying to him like, "Yeah, no,
Well,
we're just having this is literally our first conversation. You've not even said anything to me yet. I've introduced myself. And your immediate thing is, we need to look around this ship. Get out of here, Sam."
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
Constant is peaceful ship. Don't
so here we are.
Like, I hate, again, it's the lazy write. This is writing I've seen in every, but I'm starting to hate this. Not that I hate the game. I still like the game. But I'm starting to hate shit like this where I'm peacefully walking through. These people weren't expecting to see humans, right? I'm the first person this woman's seen in her entire life that wasn't born on this ship. Every security guard along here should be like, "Holy shit, there's people." I'm the first human that they're seeing, and all of them are threatening me. Not threatening me, but they've been like, "Watch yourself. Just because we have old tech doesn't mean we can't fight." I guess I'm walking around wearing like stuff that makes me look like a goddamn spaceman. Oh, what happens if I do this?
No pressure, right?
Does anything happen if I do this? Oh, why is she standing there like this now? Or was she always here? No reaction. No reaction to me going invisible right in front of her. And back to my original comment, again in the video and again in my last stream, I'm pretty sure. Stuff like this is what prevents a game from being great. This game is good. This game can't quite hit great for me. Because she doesn't care. She doesn't care that I'm shooting this wall. She doesn't care that I've just gone invisible next to her. Nobody gives a fuck, right? Boris. Fuck yeah, Boris. Alexander. Diane. Ah, they're all from the same family. This is also a very old school Bethesda thing, right? My guess is that these are all the captains. In every, and even with Sam is a perfect example of this. And this is how Bethesda's story and writing hasn't changed since the early days. These are people who live in the future, right? But we still have a society in which every single captain on this ship is a Brackenridge. That is every single Bethesda game ever is like, oh, this person runs a settlement. Yeah, so does their fucking 55th grandchild. It never changes. War never changes. It never changes.
No matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down.
Okay. What statement was that? You've just led me here to talk about things and then you make a weird statement like that? What's happening? How long have you been captain?
I think I'm coming up on 6 years now. I was only a teenager when my father died, passing
Nepotism
to me, as is tradition.
As is
Because
tradition.
of that, I've had to sort of learn as I go along, instead of taking years of study and apprenticeship under the prior captain. I think some people on the ship resent me for not having
Good.
the level of experience
They
as my
should.
predecessors.
They should absolutely
But
resent
at the
you.
same time, without my command, we likely wouldn't have made it here so quickly.
You were going in a straight line. What's happening? What's happening? Hey, we took off from Earth to go to this specific planet that is going to be our specific colony, and I imagine they're going to be pissed off that people have colonized it already, right? Oh, when I was a teenager, my father died, and I had to be captain because it's in the family line. People may be resentful because everyone on the ship had more experience than me. But it is tradition, and how on earth would they have continued in a straight line without me?
If you don't need me anymore, I have a ship to run.
Saving. There we go. I like how Sam Coe just gets involved. Why is there a bounty? Nobody knows these people exist. Nobody knows. Nobody knows they exist. As far as everyone's aware, Paradiso have been, you know, accosted by some alien ship with a bunch of aliens on it. Oh, she got the... That was from my suit. That was from my suit. Okay, now I'm gonna load. I just had to get that out. I had to get it out. But it's these systems, right? Again. And no game does this perfectly. No game does it perfectly.
Until next time.
You all saw that fire, right? Either these demons and this woman got summoned from hell. Where did she go? She's over here now.
Yes, yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such. But initially, I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there.
This is a Nepo baby, right? Like, she is like, my God-given right is to this planet because generations of my family have been driving in a straight line to this planet. Are you out of your mind?
I'm serious. We have a right
What
to claim to
rightful
this
claim?
land, and I intend to fight for it.
Fight with what? These
As you
people are
can't be our
nuts.
only
They're
hope,
absolutely nuts.
Perhaps you'll honor my request and give it your all.
Well, half of mine just turn my ship around, blow them out of the sky. That's what I was going to say. Their plan is, hey, let us colonize this planet and get the fuck out, or we're going to fight you. Fight him with what? Does your ship have shields and lasers and shit like that? Maybe. It's a colony ship, though. It's a colony ship, and they never intended to find humans out here. So what weapons do they have? You know? And it's writing like that, where we're talking about Fallout writing. We're talking about Skyrim writing. Back in the day when no one else was doing it. Only Bethesda. Only Bethesda could manage something like that. But other developers have caught up. Technology has improved past what they could do back then with their creation engine. The creation engine is now just a buggy mess. It looks good. Like new engine does look good. And like I don't know. Maybe I just don't really care about this stuff again because the writing is, it's just a bit old. It's a bit stale. And look, there's a lot to the game, right? There's so much. So I appreciate that, but let's just get to the matter at hand.
Being direct then. Good on you. So, what?
'Cause I
do you
like
know
this
about
story.
This dodgy ship I'm hearing all about.
I like this story. I've stopped again. I like the story. Here we go. Yeah, a 200-year journey. I like the story. These people left Earth before technology evolved. They got stuck in a weird time, not time loop, but they got stuck in a weird time thing where no one really kind of paid attention to them. They left and then technology, like they said, leapfrogged. I like that idea. They've come here, they want to settle, and now they're stuck because, oh shit, other people have done it. I assume they can't go anywhere else. I don't know. I don't know why the immediate solution isn't, hey, can we live here too? I like that story. It's interesting. But immediately, the first thing I do is go up to the ship. Everyone there, the security are all like, watch yourself.
No worries,
Our
mate.
technology
Watch my time
is
is
still
valuable.
strong. And I'm like, okay, everybody, like, I came on board. I was friendly. You're all surprised that I'm human. That's the first part. You're all surprised I'm human. Your technology works to let me dock, but your communications technology doesn't work to let me speak with you. But you also were able to see that the planet was colonized, but you didn't bother sending anyone down to check it out. So do you not have shuttles? Anyway, that's all a bit weird. But then I walk around the ship. Everyone's kind of threatening me almost. And I'm like, I haven't said anything. I haven't done anything. Why you treat me? People should have been like, oh my God, this guy is human. Did you guys know about the human? Hey, there's a human. Oh my God, human. I don't know, something. And instead everyone's threatening me because everyone's like a hard ass.
Are we
And I chat
talking
to the
or not?
woman and she's nuts. And they come down here to this guy and he's like, oh, the alien ship, blah, blah, blah. It's clearly a human ship. What are we talking about? Why can't it just be normal? I hate all these options. Right? Why can't we just let some other authority handle this? Cease to exist? Are you suggesting I destroy the
I'm
ship?
not suggesting anything. Other than it would make our lives so much easier if that ship ceased existing. Make of that what you will.
But when I started shooting people on the ship, a ship that nobody else knows about, I got a bounty. Again, a system I hate. I hate in games where I do something sneaky that nobody could literally nobody but the people on Paradiso who are now telling me to destroy the ship. Nobody else knows about it in the galaxy, right? Maybe they heard about it, but nobody actually knows what the ship is. So maybe they know that some rando ship appeared. But if it's destroyed, it could have been Spaces. But I start killing people on it, and I get a bounty from who? From who is giving me this bounty? Flag this group as enemies, make them non-hostile to begin with. I kill them, I get no bounty. Clear solution. But clearly they didn't bother to implement it because nobody... This feels like a mission that was created in a draft folder and then just thrown in because they're like, oh, it's a pretty good story. Put it in. It's very ham-fisted. It's just thrown in. They haven't... Shut up, Oliver. They haven't checked the nuances of it. It's just there. And like I've said before, it's fine. It's a fine story. Well, I want to say I'll go speak with them some more. I don't want to make a decision.
Guess we're tabling it for now.
It's at this point, dear viewer, that we should quickly revisit the captain's expectations of our negotiation, what she asked us to present to the CEO. Because surely, if we were requested to do something, we would be given that option. So let us quickly recap, just so we're on the same page.
Burn with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there.
Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there. Well, surely we will be able to explore that further. Now that we have the CEO's options, let's return to the captain. You in here? You are. Okay, sweet. Let's have a
Now
chat.
that you're here, no matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down.
I can't even talk to her about the
Don't forget
options.
to televise.
Yeah.
So about the colony
And
ship,
you've made
yep.
your decision.
I've made a decision, sure. I'll convince them to take settlement deal.
Right. Assuming they agree to the terms, I've got a list of
So that's just it. That's just
I
done.
hope you appreciate how
That's just
generous
it.
our offer
That was
is
the
to let you
decision. I
live
put them in
on us.
slavery. Whoops. I probably would have bought them with the grav drive. I don't know how much grav drive was though.
Right, back to
And
work.
I'm concerned that I didn't have an option to know how much it was. This must be, yeah, it's just, don't know. Again, coming from playing, and I don't want to keep harping on about Baldur's Gate 3 just being such a goddamn good game. Buy that game if you haven't bought, if you have to choose between two, buy that one. I just didn't feel like I had a lot of choices in that. It gave me the illusion of choice, and that's the thing I hate the most. And now we have to load. into another load. And I did wake one on an unnecessary trip, that's true. But for this mission, right, we appear in orbit, we load onto the planet.
Orbit stabilized.
We load back into orbit, we load into the ship, we talk to the people, we load out of the ship, we load back into the planet. We talk, and now we're here again, we load back into our ship, load back into orbit. Now we're gonna go load back into the ship. All because we have to talk with two people. Back and forth, whoops. And like, she told me.
Burn with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there.
That's the worst part. She asked me like, you need to really pressure our point. You need to advocate for us. I didn't even have that dialogue option. What was the... and that's the disconnect I'm feeling. I was told, hey, this is what we want, which was a crazy demand. She was like, the planet's ours. Tell them that. It is what it is. They need to move.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see.
Bethesda, why? Why? This is just, and I said this in my video as well. Check it out YouTube where you're watching this anyway, so I don't know why I'm plugging it. Creation engine. This shit is baked into it. This shit they will never fix. They just won't. And I am being overly critical. And I am being overly critical, right? But yeah, like I hold Bethesda to a slight... voice crack Bethesda. I hold them to a slightly higher standard.
But I'm glad for it.
Because they fucked people over for so long. I'm back with news.
What's the good word?
What if I told you I worked out a deal, but there's a catch?
I'd need to know what that catch is before I could form an opinion.
They'll only let you settle, but you need to work off a
That
debt.
doesn't sound so bad. My crew will need to get used to working for a living anyway. This seems agreeable. Is that all?
Am I talking to the same... This is what I mean about this mission feeling like it's in draft. I was just speaking to her. She had this whole Nepo kid vibe of, I'm a captain because my father's father was a captain. And now these people must let us settle here. They cannot do anything else. So I go down there and sell her entire crew into essential slavery almost. And she's like, that's a great deal. They need to learn how to work. Actually, you know why she's saying that? Because she won't do any of the goddamn work. The writing is just ham-fisted. It's all over the place. 1 minute she's pissed off that people are already on this planet. Says, this is our planet, they must go. I go down there. They get an awful deal where they have to work to pay off a debt that they shouldn't have. Onto Paradiso. Like how many menus and load screens have I had to do to get through this one mission? A disappointing outcome all around. It seems the illusion of player choice has been uncovered by our dear player, Born Ready, who streams here on YouTube. Separate to me, of course, I'm just your narrator, also Born Ready, but no relation. The illusion of player choice is not a bad thing in video games, but when it is quickly uncovered by the player, they may often be left feeling dissatisfied, as we have seen here with this example. It is quite unfortunate that this came right after Sam Coe's consistent interruptions and the illusion that there were any choices in the conversation with Sam Coe. And as we close out this chapter and this video, I reflect on my experiences with Skyrim, because as of course you can see here from this environment around me, I am a distinguished gentleman and an epic gamer, of course, because the two come hand in hand. And I recall my days frolicking around in Skyrim, going down stone paths, finding dirt roads. I recall how freeing the exploration was. It never felt disjointed. Sure, I may have to load into a cave or into a town, but they were few and far between, and the experiences between made up for those, as did the limitations of the hardware at the time. Of course, these were the Dark Ages, but I consider that at that time, if I were to find a piece of side content, a cave at the end of that road, it would be quite unique and it would be well written. Unfortunately for Starfield, they have bitten off more than they can chew. Going for such a wide range of planets has required for certain interactions like this one to be spoon-fed to the player. You may have noticed each time the player left orbit, they appeared in the exact same location. Now, I did not show it in this video because for time's sake, but the player found this very disjointing. They jumped into a ship and just happened to appear in the exact same place every time. They approached the ship in the exact same way. They docked, as you would expect, and all of their actions in the world went largely unnoticed. Now, is Starfield a good game? It is. Is it a great game? Alas, it is not. Now, I believe this player has already recommended people purchase the game. I would not dissuade you. It is a decent game, but it will never quite reach the greatness of its predecessors. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. As always, like, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you've liked this style of content, if you would like to see more of my office, please let me know. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to try and catch me when I stream. That is where all the clips from this have been taken, as you might expect. And hey, let me know, what are your thoughts on Starfield? Despite this video and how critical I have been, I'm enjoying it. Enjoying it quite a lot. Unfortunately, the narrative is leaving a lot to be desired, and the constant cuts between loading in and out of starships is starting to kill me. It's also making it a lot harder to swallow when I turn invisible in front of a character and they don't take any notice. When they speak to me as if I'm not there, or speak to me as if I've done random things that I haven't done. But hey, I love talking about it with you guys, so come check it out. Until next time, I'll catch you later.